Well, good afternoon, fastball fans, and welcome inside a little bit belatedly to John Miller Field here at the Circle Tap Bar and Grill. It's the 77th annual ISC World Tournament. Joe Todd, we're behind because we just had two outstanding ball games here on the main diamond. Most recently, San Antonio Glowworm extra innings, 3-2 winners over the Ostrander Norsemen. Out on the field, we've got the Grand Prairie Pirates from Grand Prairie, Alberta, and they're taking on the Elmira Expos from Elmira, Ontario. An all-Canadian matchup, Canada East versus Canada West. Joe, let's set the batting order for the Elmira Expos as we go into this one. AJ Moses will be leading off for the Expos. He'll be followed by Jamie Wick. Scott Lelis bats in the third spot. Dan Martin hits cleanup where he's been for about a decade, it feels like. Dave Bearclaw will be hitting 5. Tim Freeman 6. Zach Berg in the 7th spot for the Expos. Travis Martin 8. And Kevin Ward hits 9th for Elmira. Defensively for the Grand Prairie Pirates, left to right across the outfield, it's Chris Walushka, Braden Arcon, and Pat Burns. And then around the horn, you see Todd Williams, Scott Galenza, Travis Head, and Corey Jones is out at first. Steve Normand gets the start today. He'll pitch to Mitch Stack behind the dish. Scott Nehigh is the DP for the Grand Prairie Pirates. Joe, Elmira comes in on a bit of a winning streak. They've picked up a couple of wins since we last saw them way back on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Tuesday afternoon they beat the Notre Dame Cubs 6-0. And then in the afternoon tilt, they beat the Oshawick Redmen 4-0. So on that roll after that opening loss to the AHI Reapers 11-2 last Saturday.
AJ Moses, who's been hitting the ball quite well in the leadoff spot, swings and misses at that one from Steve Normand. Steve Normand, a mainstay out in Canada West with the Irma Tigers for a couple of years and has migrated over here to the Grand Prairie Pirates. Also spends some time with the STK team, which recently won the Canadian Native Fastball Championship about a week and a half ago.
This is Steve Norman's second start of the tournament. Zach Pierce has also started too now.
Way up in the air. Scott Galenza will gather that in for the first out. It is gusty today, and Joe, as opposed to yesterday when the wind was blowing out to right, it's shifted 180 degrees and is now blowing in.
Going to be that much harder to punch that ball out of here.
Well, we saw in the game that was just immediately on the diamond prior to this, a couple of balls that were hard hit and might have gone yesterday were off the big fence, that 20-foot fence surrounding John Miller Field here at Circle Tap. If you're just getting in with this, we are starting about an hour and 13 minutes late as a couple of games in front of us ran long, including an extra innings one between San Antonio Glowworm and Ostrander Norsemen. Glowworm scoring one in the bottom of the 9th to take a 3-2 win. Real good ball game. That one's fouled out of play. Joe, that win by Elmira last night to get them here today. Dan Martin picked up the win and his 20th ISC World Tournament win. Congratulations,
yes,
Dan Martin. This one is poked out to second base. Travis Head will get that one. So a couple of infield pop-ups to start. Made a little bit more complicated, a little bit higher degree of difficulty with the wind.
Scott Lelis has been having a great tournament, 5 for 10, 3 home runs and 4 RBIs. Just single shots, obviously, but
you don't say. Wow, that's a good tournament. That's going to get him some notice. The 3 home runs is right up there with some of the tournament leaders that we've been talking about, with Ty Sebastian and the Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Jerome Remeke has got 3.
Pinto.
And the catcher for
Pinto.
Circle Tap, Luiger Pinto. Yes, thank you. Called strike 3 outside corner. Down goes Scott Lelis. The Expos, 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Grand Prairie Pirates will come to the plate. Just getting underway on the ISC network.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
Hello, my name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folker. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
Welcome back for the bottom of the first inning here on the ISC network. Elmira Expos out on the field now. The home team, the Grand Prairie Pirates, will come to the dish. They'll lead off with Braden Arcon. Then Chris Walushka, Corey Jones bats third. Pat Burns in the 4 spot. Scott Knee-High, designated player, is 5th. Todd Williams, Scott Galenza, then Travis Head and Mitch Stack in the 9 spot for the Grand Prairie Pirates. Defensively for the Elmira Expos, Dave Bearclaws out in left field, AJ Moses in center, Jamie Wick is in right, Tim Freeman, Zach Berg, Kevin Ward, and Scott Lelis around the horn on the infield. It'll be David Watson and Travis Martin, the battery for the Elmira Expos. David Watson, his first year in the ISC on the tournament circuit. Joe Todd, and what would you give David? He's won some good games for Elmira and been on the wrong end of some scores too.
Yes, for his first year, if I'm grading him, I'm going to give him a B. That's not bad.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, he's a young guy, just 23 years old, making his debut. Has done very well in the Shooters League down in Nova Scotia. That's a good league. And getting the exposure, I think, is the biggest thing. And he'll be learning things, what he needs to work on and where his opportunities for improvement are, and also what his strengths are and how to build on those. And I think this has overall just been a great learning experience, and I would absolutely agree with your assessment. I'm sure he would too, that he knows that he's got things to do.
This is his 3rd start for the tournament so far. Kirk Santella started the opening game against the AHI Reapers.
It's lifted way up in the air on the left side, but will go well out of play. He's got a changeup at his disposal, and that's something that if you can learn that early, you can always rely on that pitch, as long as it's a good one, of course. Braden Arcon at the plate is a very imposing guy at the plate. He is a big man.
He's also having a great tournament, 5 for 9. And key part of that is he's had 2 walks. He leads the team in walks.
So lots going on here today. Games started at 8 a.m. with the ISC 2 division. And this one is golfed down the left side and gone. Boy, he went down and got that and hit it out. Oh, he is such a strong guy. I think everybody was shocked that that ball went out of the park.
Well, especially with the wind the way it was, and so he must have a lot of power out of those arms and shoulders.
Goes down and gets it and just hooks it around the foul pole.
Must swing a mean 9-iron.
Wow. I think you're absolutely right. So a quick 1-0 lead, lead-off home run for Braden Arcon. That'll get us to Chris Walushka. Strike to Chris on the inside corner. Chris on Team Canada for, I think, the better part of a decade, Joe, if I...
Yes. Yeah, probably. Yes. For 2012, 2000, in that area. When did... Yeah, for sure. Good stick. Puts the ball in play.
Yeah, good wheels. So Walushka's got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watson's got to regroup after that surprise home run by Braden Archon. Not the fact that he hit it, but how he hit it. Yeah. 1 hopper right to Scott Lelis. Now that may be the easiest out Scott Lelis will record all tournament. Nothing like a chest-high 1 hopper to get you into the game.
Well, you always want that first ball to be nice and easy, so get you out, down, and in the game.
Corey Jones to the plate, current member of Team Canada, silver medalist at the World Cup.
Corey Jones 5 for 10 with 3 RBIs.
Grand Prairie ran into a buzzsaw in Ty Sebastian and the Toronto Batmen yesterday morning. That's what got them into this position. Well, they won a game yesterday afternoon, right? They beat Rio Grande, that's right.
Rio Grande 4-0.
Upstairs from Watson. And this one well hit. That's into the teeth of the gale, but that's got more than enough to get out of here. Over the John Miller Field scoreboard, Corey Jones sends one out.
Wow, I thought we were going to be held back by that win, but it almost seems to be assisting in that.
Well, I don't know about assist, but that one fought it the whole way out. Yeah. I mean, this is a big, strong kid, and he gets all of that. Way too much of the plate on the pitch, and that just sails out of here. Pat Burns. And no let-up right now for David Watson in the Expos, as Pat Burns has got plenty of pop, and so does Scott Nehigh on deck. Big, strong Western Canadian boys. And already up and throwing down in the Expos bullpen is Dan Martin. Dan came on relief last night in the Oswegan game and picked up the win. And that's punched out to center. Moses will range across about 3-4 steps to his left and make the catch on the line. So Scott Nehigh to the plate. Scott has had a very consistent ISC career. He was a winner of the Kevin Herlihy Best Newcomer Award a few years back.
Is that Grand Rapids?
2016, actually, in Quad Cities with the A1 Bombers that year. And this one is lifted up in the air, and Bear Claw is going to battle the wind and will make the catch. Two-handed style, the way you'd like to see it. But two home runs into the wind. And the Grand Prairie Pirates will take a 2-0 lead after one complete.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business. This business is
Well, there you saw some of the souvenirs that are available in the shop set up kind of in behind us off to the right a bit, Joe. And some great stuff over there. The group from Sandlot always does a good job at the souvenir stands, and usually they're cleaned out by the end of the week.
I tried my best to stay away.
Add to your collection.
Yeah.
It'll be Dan Martin in the 4 spot, followed by Dave Bearclaw and Tim Freeman for the Expos. They trail 2-0, 2 big home runs. And Joe, we were just saying off air that we thought maybe the breeze would put a damper on the long ball, but apparently not.
No.
Now center field and left field, the breeze is blowing right in from right field, so a little bit less of an effect on those 2 balls, obviously.
I know this won't relate to you, but it's a southwest wind. So it's pushing out to the left field area.
Okay. I'll take your word for it that that's the southwest. Martin reaches out and fouls that one off. He's was pretty quick in a hole 0-2. A couple other games underway right now are ISC 2 games. Midland Explorers are up on the Kingston Axemen 4-0. And Pueblo Bandits a 2-0 lead over the Grand Valley Expos, the other Expos team in the tournament. Normand misses off the plate, so now 2-2. Chases upstairs, strike 3. Normand gets the strikeout. And he's going to march all the way into the plate. I don't know if I have faced Steve as a coach a couple times, but I don't remember that being part of the routine. Maybe it is. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, Bearclaw. And Normand pretty much going with the rise ball right now, Joe, and he's having his time with it.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter pitch, and he's going to try and feast on that till Elmire starts hitting it.
Or at least stops chasing it. Took something off of that one. Good cut there by Dave Bearclaw. Fouls that into the screen. And that's lifted up to right, but he hit the bottom of it, not quite the back of it. Pat Burns will range across to his left and make the catch. Got it up into that wind, too, and that was definitely going to be held up in right field.
Good focusing and good concentration by Burns.
Tim Freeman gets a called strike on the outside corner. Mike Morrissey from Peterborough, Ontario behind the plate. Joe, who else do we have?
Nicholas Dew from Argentina at first base, and David Lee from Missouri at third base.
An international crew.
Yes.
Canada, Argentina, and the U.S. Called strike. Chases upstairs, strike three. Steve Normand sets down the Expos in order again in the second. We'll head to the bottom. Pirates up 2-0.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you.
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
There you see the famous Denmark water tower on the outskirts of town. You see that from the highway. You get off the Denmark exit and make your way into town. Memorial Park is just down the main road, and then a little bit out of town, Circle Tap is where we're located. Todd Williams, Scott Galenza, and Travis Head, 6, 7, 8 for Grand Prairie Pirates. That pitch just misses, just up and out a little bit.
Martin back in the bullpen.
And there's a called strike inside.
Watson has to have a clean inning for confidence sake.
And that's lifted up, but that's going to go out of play, way off to the left behind us. Completely agree with your comment that a clean sheet here would be a confidence builder for the young man.
Nice pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Don't want to lose them. Out to center. A.J. Moses will dig that up and get it back in and hold Todd Williams to a single. Again, I think this is where we talked about this the other night with David Watson. That pitch, middle up. You want to go for the corners.
They're just getting too much of the plate. Grand Prairie have a good hitting lineup. Team batting average so far after the 3 games, 289.
They do, and this is a veteran team as well. Scott Galenza at the plate. Showed bunt on the first pitch and turns and squares again. Lets that one go by. Travis Head and then Mitch Stack, the 8 and 9 batters to come. Glenn's the veteran, just not offering at the rise ball right now from David Watson, and it's going to make the young man come in. Taking all the way, so 3-1.
You have to be really careful with this pitch. Hitters count here.
Well, upstairs, ball 4, and a single and a walk puts 2 runners aboard. You're already down 2, Joe. You do not want to get behind by 3 or more this early.
No. Just psychologically, too. It just a downer. It's very hard to come back. We're now in the 4th day of the tournament. Games are getting a little tougher.
Bunt attempt popped up, and valiant effort by Travis Martin for not. As close as that fence is, you got to be very careful when you think, oh, I'm going to dive headlong.
Yeah.
But it's like diving into the shallow end of a pool. Dan Martin has finished the warm-up tosses and is standing and stretching, and now we'll head back to the dugout. His head swings through that offering. 0-2. Joe, despite the wind, it is very warm out on the diamond in the sun. You and I have been in and out of the press box here. We've been over to the bleachers. It is warm out there.
Yeah, it's probably 26, 52, low 26 degrees, and it's about maybe low 80s, but very warm with that southwest wind.
Misses upstairs, so now 2-2 to the 8 batter, Travis Head. Upstairs and 3-2, and I think Watson looks just a little off right now, doesn't he, Joe?
Yeah, he doesn't have his. Not happy with his setup right now. Just can't seem to find that strike zone.
Comes in with that one. It's fouled back. So we'll stay at 3-2. And that one was fouled off again. Boy, we're getting up to 9 or 10 pitch territory here for Travis Head. And chases upstairs. Travis Head down on strikes, and that was something dearly needed for David Watson. Little confidence booster, number one, but also to get an out and keep the double play in order now, or if you can get a ground ball, you might be able to get out of this inning. Mitch Stack to the plate, the transplant from Petty Harbor, Newfoundland. Lives out west now. First pitch swinging, that's well hit, deep left field, and that one is gone. A big 3-run home run for Mitch Stack as he gets into one, and Grand Prairie jump out to a 5-0 lead.
Wow, got a hold of that pitch right off the bat. Great when you can pull that production out of that number 9 batter.
Well, rise ball, middle, and he jumps on it and does what you should to a middle rise ball and hits it well out of the park. And that's going to be it for young David Watson here. Just not his day this afternoon. Dan Martin will come on in relief. We'll take a break. We'll let Dan Martin get warmed up. Back to the top of the shop for Braden Archon. Second at bat here in the second inning. Well, not the second at bat in the inning, but his second at bat in only the second inning. Let me clarify, please and thank you.
We know what you meant, Blair.
And Braden Archon is going to try to go oppo this time, but that's not going to make it out. Boy, he is just a specimen up there.
He's also in the 40-man pool, I believe.
I believe you are correct. He and his brother Keegan in the 40-man pool for the Team Canada roster. That pitch just misses downstairs. Dan Martin picked up the win yesterday, and That's his 20th. I think we might have mentioned that. His 20th win here in ISC World Tournament play. That'll get him into the listing in the ISC guide, Joe, that has the career leaders, 20 or more wins.
Great accomplishment for Dan.
All the guys that have pitched in the World Tournament over the years, there's about 50 or thereabouts, maybe a little less, a little fewer, that have 20 or more career wins. And this places him in the same company as guys like Rob O'Brien. Don Scott has 21. Al Rebling, 21. So some pretty good company there for Dan Martin. The walk there to Braden Archon brings up Chris Walushka. Chris had that one hopper right down to Scott Lelis in his first at bat. That one misses downstairs. Walushka played the last couple of years with the JB team out of California. And that's a haul, Joe, when you're making trips from BC down to California or out to New York City. JB team doesn't play a heavy schedule. They go to a couple of the big tournaments, the Peligro Cup out in New York City, the Summer Cup this year, which was in Mankato. And speaking of Mankato, Joe Todd, Caswell Park, we will be there in 2025. It was announced this morning.
Looking forward to see that new complex.
Strike on the inside corner. Well, Luciano was there just last weekend. It was the site of the USA National Tournament. What, 2025, as they continue to make refurbishments there, and this one is laced out to left. Here's the throw. It comes into the cutoff, man. I thought perhaps they had a play at third as Braden Archon goes coast to coast. Watch Archon, Joe. Didn't really speed around the base, but he never really broke stride either. He just kept going.
Got real long legs and big strides.
Corey Jones, who powered one out of here over top of the scoreboard his last trip. So go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Shout out to Jim Jones, who's probably listening back home.
Maybe even watching.
Yes, or sorry, watching. Yes, yeah, we hope so. He's not in the trying to make a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, was Jim on the coaching staff?
I don't think so. Not this year.
Okay. Swings at that one. Good off-speed pitch from Martin. And Kirk Santala now is up throwing in the bullpen. And that one is pulled out to right field, but it's going to fall just on the wrong side of the foul line. Joe, I don't remember if you would remember the Lloydminster Dodgers back in ISC 2 play, but I remember talking with Corey Jones one of the early years that they came to ISC 2. Swing and a miss there. Down goes Jones. I think he was about 17 years old and came with the Lloydminster Dodgers.
And if I'm correct, the Lloydminster Dodgers won Best Dressed Uniform that year.
I don't think they did.
No.
I remember Donnie Atkinson saying on the Twos Talk podcast that despite everything that they did, they never actually won the Best Dressed.
They had to be in the running. That was a sharp
They certainly would have been. I loved the Dodger blues that they had back then. So Pat Burns to the plate, and this one is well hit to the fence Off the fence at top, and around comes Walushka. He'll score. Pat Burns with a ringing double off the iron out and left, and 5 runs in now on the inning for Grand Prairie. And Joe, they are absolutely running away with it. Here you see it hits off the upper panel.
Just a hitting machine this afternoon.
So 7-0 right now for the Pirates. Scott Knee-high, opportunity to add to this lead with a runner out at second. Pat Burns, head tilted, looking in for the signs. Big cut there by Knee-high, but just a foul tip.
Kirk Santella now warming up in the Expos bullpen.
Yeah, he's been down there for a couple of minutes already. There's a strike on the outside corner. Joe, there's a lot of umbrellas up today, and it's not for the rain. Fortunately, it's for the sun. There's a few clouds in the sky, but it is just an absolutely gorgeous day here in Denmark, Wisconsin. A breeze to keep things sane. Dan Martin strikes out Scott Knee-high, but that big double is the tough one as the Pirates plate 5 here in the second to add to the deuce that they got in the first. And they've got this commanding 7-0 lead through 2 complete.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
Zach Berg, Travis Martin, Kevin Ward, 7-8-9 for the Expos. First pitch swinging, a 2-hopper out to Travis Head. And Joe, if you're Dan Martin, you would have liked maybe
take some pitches.
Take some pitches, exactly. So Steve Normand, this has got to be his routine, Joe. He just walked all the way in to 2 steps in front of the plate and now back behind the board. He's going to be wearing a path out there pretty quick. Travis Martin, catcher, general manager for the squad. A veteran of the Ontario tournament circuit. This team came up through the minor ranks, won a midget Canadian championship. Not sure if they won a junior one. Maybe they did, but I know they won a midget national championship, which would be U20 these days, but I don't know if it was back then. Might have been U18 back then. Came onto the men's scene, have been stalwart citizens on the Ontario tournament circuit for many a year.
I'll say there's at least 5 still in the starting 10 here from that original team.
And there's a 2-hopper. And we talked about the gift that Scott Lelis got a couple of innings back. Well, Corey Jones just got one in return. And Corey and Mike Morrissey, did he call something or what happened here? No. So Travis is back to the plate. I guess they're saying that went off his foot. We have a replay on this one? I know it took a bit of a spin. Oh.
He kind of hobbled.
Okay. Yeah. He did kind of come out of the box funny. It did definitely curve coming out of there. That just misses off the outside corner. And that's a little flared on the left side. That's got a chance to fall in, but what a great grab out there by the shortstop, Scott Galenza, who went 1.5 miles to go get that ball. Let's make sure we get a replay on this one. Watch how far Scott Galenza goes. This is just a little flare and makes the sliding grab. Outstanding defense out there from Scott Galenza. So Kevin Ward now to the plate, the 9 batter for Elmira. And he fouls the first pitch straight back.
That play by Galenza also probably because of the sun would be right in his eyes going that way too.
Just to add to the degree of difficulty.
Yes.
Changeup from Steve Normand. That was a good pitch from Steve. Not noted for the changeup, but that was a good one.
Good mix in there. Good to show that.
Well, you know, Joe, you and I noted this in the game last night with Circle Top. Devin McCullough did not throw a single changeup that game.
No.
Now, whether the Bear Creek guys might have been sitting on it, I don't know, but I'm just baffled by the guy who's got a world-class changeup. Never used it that whole game.
So I'm just wondering if previous matchups, if he got burnt on it.
That's the only thing that would come to mind against Bear Creek.
Yeah.
But and they have played each other a couple of times this year, but I was just surprised. Ward lays off that rise ball. Two and two out. Expos need some kind of lift here, Joe. Something just to give them a spark. This is downstairs. Need a base runner, just need something.
A walk, anything.
And that's going to go foul out of play. And upstairs, and there is the base runner.
Yep.
Kevin Ward draws a walk. And back to the top of the shop for A.J. Moses.
AJ's had a good tournament too. 3 for 8, 375 batting average, 2 doubles and a triple.
He's like Blake Hunter. When he hits it, it's extra bases.
Yeah, I don't like running. Just the single's not worth it.
Moses slashes this one out to center, but on the sliding grab, Braden Archon takes away a base hit from A.J. Moses, his counterpart. EXPOS just can't get anything going for them right now.
To lead off the bottom of the third inning will go to Todd Williams, the third baseman for the Grand Prairie Pirates. Todd had a single back in the second inning and scored. Todd batting out of that sixth spot today. Todd with an off-field hit down the line. Good grab there by Dave Bearclaw for the first out of the inning. Scott Glenza now at the plate. Scott got on by way of a walk. Elmira Expos need a nice clean inning here. Get themselves back in there, get swinging some bats. Kind of shut down the momentum that Grand Prairie have built up.
Well, that would certainly be the game plan for the Expos and their supporters, but it's a tough sled right now. They can't buy a break. I mean, you look at that catch that Scott Galenza just made on Travis Martin, and even the Zach Berg, or sorry, the A.J. Moses line shot out to center, taken away by Braden Archon. I mean, there's good defense being played by the team in black out there.
You just missed a great grab by Dave Bearclaw on the Todd Williams flyout. Some great defense.
Well, it's good to see on both sides of the ball. And, you know, Joe, sometimes when you're down like Elmira is right now, it's easy just to let that ball drop in front of you. But good on Dave Bearclaw to be going after stuff still.
Get down, get dirty. One ball, two strikes to Galenza. Galenza with a fly out. Headed out to Jamie Wick in right field. Wick brings the ball in for the second out of the inning. Travis Head now at the plate.
Well, I think you got a pinch hitter coming here.
Okay. 33.
Number 33 is Shane Milligan. Shane's a veteran from Alberta. You don't always see a lefty brought in to hit against a lefty.
No.
Martin misses upstairs. And there's a called strike on the inside corner. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down.
The winner of this game will not have to play another game tonight, will they? Just wondering if it...
So the winner of this will advance to play the loser of the Stompers Lumberjacks game, but that'll be tomorrow.
Okay.
1 hopper down to Scott Lelis. He's had a couple of those come his way today. Well, there's the clean inning that the Expos were looking for, Joe. First time they've been able to do that. Still, 7-0 for the Grand Prairie Pirates. We'll go to the top of the 4th. Expos have got to get something on the roll.
Yes. Looking for that first hit.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Well, there you get an idea, Joe, of the breeze, as the flag, up until the moment that I said it, was pretty much straight out. And
broadcaster curse works on the flag, too.
Works on the flag, apparently, even. Come on. There it goes a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see it in the trees, at least, anyway. Joe, I will tell you something, and you were noticing this a little bit too in the warm-up. Steve Normand is a creature of habit and routine. Every single pitch, he's got the same routine out there. He steps into the same little hole. He's got to dig at it first a little bit. Every time there's an out, he's going to come in a certain number of steps. Little hopper out to Shane Milligan, or did Travis Head go back in?
Yeah,
Travis Head went back in. Yeah. Normand comes in most of the way to the plate, gets the ball to the back of the circle.
First baseman number 5, Scott Lelis.
Now to the board. And to the screen. Looks like it's filled up underneath that green and white tent. People seeking some shade out in right field. There's a few hardy souls out on the front bleachers here. A lot of people were up in the shade, tucked in behind or in between.
That sounds like a real good plan for today.
Yeah, the patio, beside the patio.
The UV rays, I'm sure, are a little high today.
Joe, coming up, we've got the Niagara Stompers and the AWP Lumberjacks. Kuba Osichka for the Lumberjacks, and to nobody's surprise, Huemo Mata for the Stompers. Travis Head's a busy guy out there. He got the generous hop that time.
4 defensive assists for Head so far in the game. We're just in the 4th inning.
That's a busy day out at second base. So Dan Martin to the dish. Dan came on in relief in the 2nd inning of David Watson as the Pirates were pillaging in the 1st and the 2nd. There might even be some plundering a little later, Joe.
Oh, okay.
See how the Pirates do.
Gee, I have to find a P word now.
And upstairs from Normand, not happy with that one. Lumberjacks in their powder blue pinstripes. Those are pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I like them.
Think of the Toronto Blue Jays powder blues, but with a white pinstripe. Dan Martin launches one out to center right, and that's a no-doubter.
Dan got all of that ball and took it a little bit the other way, too.
Over those 2 umbrellas, just to the right shade of center. Make it 7-1 for the Pirates. And Joe, that might be a little bit of life for the team in white. Okay, Bearclaw. We'll see if he can follow that up and provide a pulse. We've seen that a fair bit from Dan Martin over the years, pitching and hitting, and big hits for this Expos team.
Good all-round ball player.
Joe, this will be our first look at the Stompers this week.
Looking forward to that game.
Well, they've yet to give up a run. Normand will field that one, and the long underhand toss over to first for the final out of the inning. The Expos get their first hit, their first run, courtesy of a long solo bomb from Dan Martin. Make it 7-1 for Grand Prairie. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Stay with us on the ISC Network.
Leadoff batter for the Grand Prairie Pirates. Going into the bottom of the 4th inning will be the catcher, Mitch Stack. Mitch had a 3-run shot, home run over the fence back in that 2nd inning.
And that was the first pitch he saw, too.
Yeah.
He just launched it. Mitch, a member of the 2016 Canada U19 team as it was then. Played in Midland, Michigan. Picked up a bronze medal. Tyler Randerson on that team. Shame of that one is not a lot of those guys are in the game. Isaac Lefebvre still around, but very few and far between from that team.
Yes.
Good change-up. Stack waves at that for first out of the inning. Back to the top of the shop. It'll be Braden Archon. Ball 1-2. Big, tall Braden Archon. Called strike. Probably not on too many other guys in the tournament. Be it at the eyes of a fair number of guys. That's fouled out of play, so we'll go 1-2. Three games today on the ISC network in total. Following this matchup between the Pirates and the EXPOS, as we said, we'll have the Stompers and the AWP Lumberjacks. We'll close out our portion of the evening with Hill United Chiefs and RM Kurtz. A surprise RM Kurtz. They knocked off JB way back on Sunday. And they followed that up with a win over the Glowworm squad. Sorry, Oma Tigres. Called strike 3. Braden Archon.
Not agreed.
Down on strikes. Don't think he agreed, but
no.
Didn't make the federal case out of it either. So pinch hitter Aaron Charchuk. He's on for Chris Walushka. Got to admit, Joe, a brand new player to me.
Yep.
We'll see what Mr. Charchuk is all about. Got to get him checked into the game. Mike Morrissey gets the change done and gets back behind the dish. First pitch swinging. Zach Berg will pull that down for the final out of the inning. So another quiet inning for the Pirates. They'll take that 7-1 lead into the top of the 5th. EXPOS coming back to the plate.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
Well, Joe, there you see Zach Pierce, Zippy, as he's known, on in relief of Steve Normand here in the top of the 5th inning. What's Zach done this week, Joe?
He's had 2 starts, 1 win, 1 loss, 15 strikeouts, and 6 walks in those 2 games.
Swing and a miss.
Pinch hitter.
Yeah, that is Colton Quip
Yep.
at the plate. And he fouls that one into the screen. Pierce on Team Canada's roster. I'd say Joey would have started the World Cup likely as the number 2 starter behind Sean Cleary, but maybe finished up in behind Ty Sebastian as well. And that one's upstairs. Pierce throws very hard. Good rise ball, good drop. Also has the change in his repertoire. And there's the change, and way out in front is Quip. Down to first for first out of the inning. Zach Berg back in. Shows bunt, pulls it back, gets a strike. Wanted to chase that one up and under the zone. Really wanted to chase it, but didn't.
Held back.
Two hopper down to third, in and out of the glove, and they're not going to get Zach Berg. Todd Williams. I'm waiting for your...
I want to see this again to see if he played it
I'm going
correctly.
E5. Got it on the backhand. It was in and out of the glove.
Yep.
And I got E5 on that.
Yeah.
Travis Martin got robbed his first appearance. A pop up to short. It was way in behind the bag down the foul line. Scott Galenza made a great grab. Travis Martin chases way upstairs on Pierce. And chases upstairs again. Travis Martin just can't fight the urge to go after that rise ball from Pierce. So we'll go to Kevin Ward. Tough pitch to lay off. It looks so good, as you said, coming out of the hand of Pierce, but it just continues to climb. On the move was Berg, and Stack had that one glance off the glove. So Zach Berg up to second on the play. You got nothing to lose if you're the Expos at this point. Stay aggressive.
Sure.
Try and get guys in scoring position. Do whatever you can. Looks like a pinch hitter on deck too, Joe. Derek Martin is out there, and there's a base hit. Here's the throw. The plate is cut off by Corey Jones. So a little life left in the Expos. Make it 7-2.
Yeah.
That's a good RBI by Kevin Ward. Derek Martin will pinch hit for A.J. Moses. Comes with the changeup and has Derek Martin way out in front. And there's a little bleeder out in front, but that's gone off his foot. And did a good job to sell it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Said, gee, I get one swing and I get hurt.
Yeah. Well, he hopped pretty good. He's got the ankle guard on, but that one misses. 3-2 on Derek Martin, pinch hitting. 2 out, so Ward will be on the move. Swing and a miss, chases the rise ball. Zach Pierce. Give up a run to make it 7-2. We'll go to home out in the 5th. The Pirates out in front. Joe, Corey Jones to lead off. He'll be followed by Pat Burns. Those two guys are out in view, but I just saw Gary Burns giving some,
changes.
I thought were changes to Mike Morrissey, who's busy scribbling on the left side of your frame there. So probably in the 3-batter position. We'll see who comes up. Jones, Burns, Scott Nehigh, the scheduled batters. So we'll see if somebody is coming in. Likely thinking Donnie Atkinson. He's actually the only guy on the bench who hasn't made an appearance. Joe, we put up a post earlier today on the ISC Facebook page and other social media channels, Twitter and Instagram, talking about the Herculean effort by a couple of guys over the last couple of days to get the tournament back on track. Rich Haldane and Darren Derricks. Darren, of course, the proprietor of Circle Tap and head of the host committee. Rich Haldane is our World Tournament Vice President. He's the head of the World Tournament Committee here from the ISC perspective. And they collaborated over, starting really Sunday morning, as we looked at the forecast and saw all the rain that we were going to get on Monday. Pulled forward 7 games from Monday's schedule to Sunday night, and then redrew the tournament schedule. Excuse me, they redrew the tournament schedule on Tuesday. Added 2 diamonds out at Maribel Park, just out of town here. We played 31 games yesterday.
Yes, amazing.
That is as many games as that just goes off the glove of Kevin Ward, and it's going to rattle around on the fence, and up to second base goes Corey Jones with a double. Valiant effort there by Kevin Ward, but just had it tip off his glove.
Real hard hit ball.
I was talking to Darren Derricks, I don't know, 3.5 hours ago, and we mentioned this, and he said the Boys' Summer Tournament, which is the big tournament that they have here, 16 teams, 4 divisions, playing games all weekend. They actually start Thursday. That ball is laced, and that one goes off the glove of Zach Berg, diving the other way. Corey Jones in, and now going to try for third. Burns slides in safely with a sliding triple. So back-to-back hard hits off the gloves of diving EXPOS infielders. And that one, he actually deflected it away from Dave Bearclaw. And here's Burns sliding into third. A couple of breaks that the EXPOS just can't buy one today. Knee-high lists this one deep left field, and forget about it. That will be the ball game, as Scott Knee-high will end it with an exclamation mark. Grand Prairie Pirates plunder their way to a 9-2 win. Make it 10 as Knee-high steps on the plate. Joe, Grand Prairie showed a lot of pop and power as they boom some balls out of the park here, even with the prevailing wind coming in. Scott Knee-high with a home run, Braden Arcon with a home run, and Mitch Stack with one as well.
4 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple. A lot of power there.
For the Elmira EXPOS, they'll finish the tournament 2-2.
Yes.
Good showing here by the team that was in the ISC 2 division last year. We'll get reset, and we'll bring you the Niagara Stompers and the AWP Lumberjacks coming up. Come back with us on the ISC network, probably 15-20 minutes time, hopefully before 5 p.m. local. And we will see you on the flip side. Lars Sedford for Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Dureste. Thanks for being with us.
Latest ball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now, softballpremiertv.com.